Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please. You're audible.
Kushal, are you there?
Kushal is there with me.
Yeah, just wanted to confirm. I think in 2 minutes we should start. Only 15 participants have joined.
Yeah, I think we will start a little bit.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Warm welcome to this Q&A session, yet one more webinar of ANIMATE. So this ideally is a Q&A session where we want you to ask questions if you're working on your animations. And before this, we already had two webinars where we explained how to install Synfig Studio, how to use Synfig Studio, and how to use the spoken tutorial, how to learn through spoken tutorials to create animations in Synfig Studio. So, okay, Divya, you can't hear me. I think please check your audio because others can hear me. So, please do some settings in your audio so you can. You have to give a permission from your system to Zoom to allow your mic access. Okay, so I think you can just check that. Okay, so getting back to what I was telling, previously we had two webinars. First, we had on installing Synfig Studio, how to use Synfig Studio, and how to use spoken tutorial for learning Synfig Studio and how to create animations in Synfig Studio. We also had one more webinar where we told you how what topics you can choose, some idea of your topics we had given, and we had a Q&A session on that too. Then we had Dr. Sanjukta from Manipal who explained us about animation and how to go about it. Uh, Very technical details she had given in our last webinar. So we thought that this webinar we will tell you to come up with your doubts, and this will be an interactive webinar where this is mostly a doubt solving session. But before we go to your doubts, I will request Kushal. I think by now you all know who Kushal is. Kushal is leading the focal team and the graphics animation effort in FOSSI. So Kushal will first go through, will let you go through the submission guidelines and what is expected from you to submit and how to submit. He will tell you all those details. And then we will have a doubt solving session, a interactive Q&A. Okay, so I hope you all just be ready with your doubts, and we are here to help you and clear all your doubts. Okay, so Kushal, over to you. So Kushal, first you show them the Animate website where we have links of all the previous webinar. If they have missed the webinar, they can actually, if you have missed the webinar, you can actually go and see the previous webinars. We have published it on our website. So Kushal, first you show that and then you take them through submission guidelines. Okay, over to you, Kushal.
Okay. So good afternoon all. So now I am sharing my screen. Yes. So are you able to?
Can you speak a bit more loudly or can you move the mic a little bit more? Because I hear it very feebly. That's why. I don't know whether all are facing the same issue, but just try to do that.
Yes. So are you able to see my screen? Right?
Yes.
Yes, Kushal.
So I am sharing a screen. This is our website Animate 2024. Right. So here already we shown you the guidelines how to submit. So I click here. So see, there is already instructed here how to submit your animations. What will be the property of animation, how to prepare for the submission, and what are the steps to submit the animations. And this is for your information ki how we are going to evaluate your animations. So one by one, you follow this, you read this first, and then you follow and these guidelines and create your animations and submit it. So I will read here first. So your animation video should be in Synfig Studio. So you have to use Synfig Studio to make a animation. After that, duration for the animation is 3 minutes or less than that. That is maximum 3 minutes. So minimum render setting for the animation will be 8. So and the minimum resolution for the animation will be 720 by 480 pixels. That is the YouTube standard dimension, and frame rate will be 24 frame per second. This is a property of your animation. And where to submit? So for that, we already here first in the first point you can see your animation should be submitted in this link. So you have to click here, or you have to type this learn.fossee.in in your browser, and after that you go your user ID and password and submit your animation. So I will show you also how to do that. So before that, here you read what will be the preparation of the submission. So for that you have to create one folder. Create first folder with your team ID or username, whatever is that. And after that, in that folder, you have to create 2-3 folders. So there will be a folder for images. There will be a folder for sound, where you can include your sound effect or narration. After that, you have to create one folder, output folder. So here you can put your output of the Synfig Studio. Whole animation output will be there. And after that, you have to create one doc folder where you have to give some your storyboard or story, whatever you have to suggest thought. And after that, all these folders, you have to make this folder zip file, and that zip file you have to submit on this learn.fossee.in link. So these steps also here written here, how to submit. Go to this link. After that, enter your username and password. And after that, first time, suppose you are logging, then you have to change your password and create your new password. And after that, you go to this link once again and choose the course ANIMATE 2024. And scroll down little bit. There is a button animation submission upload, and by clicking that, you will get the field to upload your files. Okay. So there is also for your easiness, we made one video how to submit. So if you want to see that video, you click here and watch that. Okay. So this all things we are uploaded here. So frequently we think that you are visiting this website and getting the instructions from here. If any updates are there, we already update here. So this is the information that how we evaluate your animation. So you read that, and by that, if you are doing animation, we don't want waste your effort. So that's why you read this evaluation, how we are going to evaluate. So what you have to do and what you have not to do. So think this, and then you upload your files. So in practically, I will show you how to do that. So I will show my screen. So look here, this is my folder. In this folder, I kept the name Veer Singh. So this is my student account. So one of the participants is named Veer Singh, and in that folder, you can see I already created the folder clips, docs, images, output, and then sound. And after that, these are AVIs and Synfig files. So look here, these are the outputs. So this MP4 and AVI are the outputs, final outputs that should be in output folder. So I will cut from here and I will kept it in the output folder. Okay. So now you see what is my structure of the folder. So this is a folder, clips. In that clips, you have to put your clips which you are going to create in Synfig Studio by using Synfig Studio. After that, in this doc files, you have to keep your story or any storyboard. You have to keep here, and in these images, there are suppose images which you created or which you downloaded from Google, open source images. You have to keep or you have to save it here. And in this output folder, this is a final output of your animation. So there are two outputs. There should be a one output only. So suppose this is one output, is the final output. Okay, and here in sound, you have to save your sound effects or narrations which you are using for the animation. And after that, this is our original Synfig Studio file. So that should be here. And editing file also, Blender editing files or any other video software you are using for editing, that software file should also here. And if you are doing any images, graphics, so that files are here in the images folder. So this is the structure. So what you have to do, all the folders when you are in this format, you have to zip this file. So zip this folder. So right click it and compress this folder. So you have to go here. Acha. So you have to compress this folder and make a zip file, and that zip file you have to upload in the learn.fossee.in. So suppose there is in this computer there is no utility of compressing it. So what I will do, I will create a temporary zip file. I will create. Suppose this is a one file. So see, this is my compressed file. So in that way, you don't have to do, you have to do right click this folder which we created already, and you have to compress it by using compress utility. You zip that file, make a rar file or zip file, and that file you have to upload. So for example, I am showing this is one of my rar file or zip file. So where it to upload. So what you have to do, you have to go our website. Now you can see this is our link. So click it here. So you will get the interface. So I already logged in. So first I will log out.
So just interrupting Kushal here. We have sent you the login credentials to your registered email ID. We have also sent the credentials to your team lead. Okay.
Sorry, Vinita, only the team lead receives the login credentials.
Yeah,
So the team has to work together, and the uploading will be done only by the team lead.
team lead.
Just ask your team lead, if you are not the team lead, ask your team lead to check his email ID and see whether the mail has been received. If not, do let us know so that we will see what has happened. You may even have to check in the spam folder, and all. Sometimes it goes to that folder also. So check in the spam also, but definitely we have sent and the recently joined ones, that is from yesterday onwards, we will be sending it tomorrow.
So yeah.
So the interface shown by Kushal is the Moodle interface where you have to submit. Okay.
This is the first screen of this our Moodle interface where you have to submit your animation. So here I have my username and I have to put here password. So I typed my password and I have to click on login. So I think so now this time password is right. So I comes here. So you have to go my courses, click here. So in that my courses you can see ANIMATE 2024. So this is ANIMATE 2024, you have to click it here. So once you click it here, scroll little, so you can see animation submission upload. So here you have to submit your animation. So there is one button, click here to add your submission. So click on that button. Once you click on that button, again you see there is an instruction. So what is the instruction? Create an archive zip or archive RAR file of your submission. So what should be in that zip or RAR file? That includes Synfig Studio file, that includes JPG files, include PNG files or SVG files or TIFF file, video file, MOV file, etc. So there are so many that zip file contains so much different files. So that box, that zip file, that RAR file you have to upload. So little below there is one add submission. Click on this button. So once you click on that button, once again you have get this notice for your confirmation. Are you ready? Are you nothing missed out? So after that you can see this is the one button. So this is a drop. You can drop your file here or you can click here add. So I will add my that zip file. I will click it. So you will get this. So upload a file, choose a file, and from here on the desktop, this is my zip or RAR file. So I click this and click and open button. So once I clicked here, you can see choose the file. I already choose the file synfig animation.1 zip. So this is zip folder which include all these files. And then I have to click here, upload this file. So once you did that, you can see the file is uploaded. In this box, you can see which file you uploaded already. So in this way, your submission is already submitted. So you have to click on this save changes button. Don't forget to click on this. Once you clicked here, your submission is saved on our Moodle platform. So after that, you can log out. So you can see here file submission, which file you uploaded and what date you uploaded and what will be the time here. So now after that you can log out. So in this way, this is a procedure to submit your animation. So is any doubt or you have any queries, you ask me.
So you can raise your hand and then we can call out your names and you can unmute and talk. Is there any hand raise?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, ma'am, while I am animating with my team, I am having problems in maintaining the frames per second. So, is there any tip which I can use to maintain the frame rate at 24?
Can you repeat the question?
Frames per second maintain नहीं हो रहा है question.
Frames per second, you have to keep 24 frames per second. So where you are not maintaining your in editing software or in Synfig software?
In Synfig software, sir.
So in Synfig software, what you have to do, I will tell you.
Okay, sir.
So I will share your screen once again. So suppose this is the Synfig Studio, right? This is Synfig Studio. Here here you can, when you are going to render it, you have to check here your settings, and here they shown frames per second, 24 frames. You have to type here 24. So once you type here when 24, by default it is a 24, but suppose there is a no such a frame or you changed something else, so you have to type 24 and press enter, and then you have to render it. Suppose this is my animation, okay. I will show you. This is from 0 to 120 frames. In this my animation, 0 to 120 frames are there, and I want to render it. So what I will do, I will go to the render button. I will name for this output. So suppose I have to choose output folder. So this is my output folder. I will name it, suppose final output .mp4. I kept it .mp4. You can kept AVI also. So say OK. Now once I click on the render button, and you have to keep your quality 8. So by the guidelines, you see the guidelines, in the guideline you should keep a quality 8 and 24 frames. And what will be the size? Minimum size should be there, we written already. So that is here is the 480 and 270, but you have to keep size which we already maintained here, 720 to 480 pixels. That is our minimum resolution dimension for the video, rendered video. So I have to put that here. So 720 to 480. So I have to make 720 to 480. So now whenever I have kept all these settings, setting is 8, quality is 8, dimension is like this, 720 and 480. This is 9:16 proportionate. So this is dimension, and what is the time whichever you selected, but it should be less than 3 minutes. So 24 frames you keep here, and then you click on the render. So once I clicked on that render, you see the rendering process is going on. Once it complete, you can see the final output in my output folder. So let it be, render it. Yes, done. Now it is rendered. Now you can see on my VirSync folder, in the output, you can see the final output MP4. This is my output file. There should be one only output. So this is my final output. So you can see in this VirSync folder, there are structures of folders. There are clips, there are docs, there are images, there are output, there is a sound, and my synfig animation file. So in that way you have to work, and all this zip folder when you send us, so we can evaluate your animation, because we have to check whether you are completed your all the images in open source software or not, whether you are using synfig or not. Only if you are giving us only the video file, then we cannot judge your animation, and that animation will be disqualified. So whatever you taken efforts for doing this animation, that will be waste. So don't get a disqualify. You have to prepare all this kind of structure and send it to us, so that we can judge your animation. Okay. So then you make it zip or rar file of this VirSync folder, and then you have to send it to us on the this platform, Moodle platform. So are you getting? 24 frames should be there when you are going to render it. Is that okay? Or any confusion there? You tell me. Hello.
Kapish says that everything is clear, sir. Yeah. Any more questions? I don't see any hand raises. You guys can unmute and talk.
Yeah,
Uh,
Ragini's question, you can unmute and ask the question.
Hello. So,
Others
can
can
you hear
raise their
me?
hand. Yes, Ragini, please go ahead.
Okay, so I did like okay, so then Synfig Studio doesn't really have that option to create multiple scenes within one document. So I had to create new documents and I had to make different scenes there.
Yes,
And if I have to compile all of them together, and all the MP4s, all the videos together, then what software again do I use for
so
that?
that
Like,
is
can I use any random video editing
yes, yes,
software just to compile all of them?
yes, that is your choice, but use only open source video editing software. So we suggest
Okay.
here Blender video editor, but you can use open shot also. You can use any open source video editor software to compile the all clips.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
But you have to send that file where you compiled that. So we can comes to know that you used this open source software and you compiled that and you created a final output. If you are not sending that, if suppose you are doing in a proprietary software Adobe and you sending only output, so we can't comes to know that which software you used for video editing. So that's why you have to send that open source file also, in which open source software you send that. Means you are compiled video compiled software, you have to put it in this folder, in VirSync folder, and then zip it and then you have to send it. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anything? So I am again simplifying you. So you have to make one folder. In that folder, there should be a synfig file which we can open. Suppose we can't open that synfig file. Yes, tell me.
Sunita, please go ahead with your question. We can't hear you, Sunita. Kushal, my voice is clear.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Vinita.
I think she has some network problem.
Okay. So I am once again uh, I am having some network issue. Okay. So I will tell you once again. So you have to create one folder. In that folder, you have to keep all the necessary file for the animation. So there should be include of synfig file. There should be include of video editor file. So these two files should be there. So we can comes to know that you are created this animation in synfig and you are created the video editing in your any open source software. So these two files should be there should be must, and after that whatever you are used any graphics, that graphics files also you have to keep in the image folder, or you can took from Google. So you have to choose only open source image files and you have to use for your animation. And your output should only one output. There is no 2 3 outputs. There are small clips. You have to put that clips in clips folder for compiling, and you compile it by using video editor and make a final video, and that final video should be in output folder. So this is a way to that so that we can judge your animation. If you think this is too much hard, so be in one folder, and that folder you zip that folder and send it to us. If you don't want to segregate your files in that way, so that is your choice, but this is a better way to do your animation also, manage your animation files also, and it is better to uh, evaluate your animation also in a better way. Anyone have any queries? Ask me. So I think you already started to learning Synfig Studio and you are doing something, and suppose you created your animation after 10 days. By 10 days you worked on that, and after that you created one output and you are sending to us, and if you are not submitting all the files, your submission will incomplete, then it get disqualified. Your 10 days effort will be waste. So don't do that. So here I am seeing participants are very less, but you have to read the guidelines. Already we shown on our website, and by that you can do your animations. Also, this webinar link we will uploaded in our website.
Yeah, all the webinars which we conduct will be, the recordings will be uploaded on the webpage. So if even if you want to go back and take a look at the guidelines and all, it will be available on the webpage.
Okay, so in the chat box, I can see questions from Raktima. Raktima, I think it is resolved now. And Kapish also has a question.
So unmute and ask questions.
Raktima's question already Kushal has answered. Kapish's question is, sir, in the folder, which all specifications should be available? I think he's asking the file extension, if I'm not wrong. Kapish, you can unmute and talk to Kushal.
Yes, ma'am. I'm talking about the file extension.
So can you repeat your question?
So, like, is there a file extension available on Synfig Studio, because it is very difficult to compile all the files together?
I didn't get you.
So Kapish is asking Kushal that what all files needs to be submitted in the folder. He understood that synfig file and all, but what is the specific extension of those files which is expected to submit?
So here I will share my screen once again. So this is our folder, suppose, and in this folder this is our synfig file. So this is our synfig file. This is editable synfig file. Here all the images are imported, anything sound also imported. So what will be the extension of the images? That will be a JPG, PNG, TIFF. What will be the extension of this file? This file in extension will be SIFZ or SIF. And what will be the extension of your video editor? Suppose you are using Blender, then the extension will be .blend. Suppose you are using any OpenShot software for editing, then that extension will be the project file, whatever. So what are the extensions? That will be no worry, because by default each software have their own extensions. But for these images, you can use JPEG, you can use PNG, you can use TIFF, and suppose if you are importing the sound, then you can use MP4 and what we say wave file, WAV extension should be there. So these are files, you put it in one folder, segregate it in the folder which I already showed you the structure. Here clips may be AVI, MP4, and your final output may be MP4, maybe MOV, maybe AVI, all is okay. So here then this SIFZ is a by default, this is a synfig file. Suppose you are doing something Blender editor video file, then by default there is a extension will be BLEND. And images, so look here, there is one PNG image, there is one JPG image which is I imported in the synfig file. You can see here this is a PNG image, I imported here, this is JPG image I imported for this video, Synfig. So in this way, you can use whatever you used, you keep it here and send it to us. Then we will look out these. There is no any restriction which extension you are using. Only restriction is that you have to use open source software. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Acha, on which date to submit animation file? So for the answer is that you have to check the website. There is a last date for submission is already mentioned. So what is the one next question is that is the folder with all specification available? I didn't get this. Acha. So you have to create one folder. In that folder, you segregate your files or keep all in one folder and use create that RAR file or zip file and upload it. So what is hello? I have some network issue. So no problem. You can watch this webinar afterward also. Please create the animation in the laptop or desktop. You cannot create the animation on a mobile. Yes. 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 Okay. So is any new question? Or you have any difficulties? You ask me also. When you are going to do your animation, you will face some difficulties. You ask me. I can guide you. I cannot tell you, but I can guide you how to solve it. Hello.
So have you all started working on a topic and have started the animation
Or you are planning only, or you
yeah, just
started?
let us know so that if we can help you in any stages,
Yes.
it will be helpful for you also. I think if there are no doubts, then I think we can wrap up the session. So have
Ma'am,
you
I had
all yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, actually, I had started creating the animation, but I had created in Creta, which is also an open source animation software. But is it all right if I use a little bit from Creta and the rest of from Synfig Studios? Rest the animation in Synfig Studios.
Yes, yes, because this is an animation studio, Synfig Animation Studio Hackathon. So you can use Krita for making your drawings, sketches, the storyboard, whatever is. But you create a final animation in Synfig Studio. You can take a help from Krita. There is no harm because this is open source software. Or you can use
Okay, sir.
Krita for editing also. You create small clips in Synfig Studio, you import it in Krita and make it a whole complete animation by using that also as like a video editor. You can use that.
Sir, actually, I had done like 10 seconds of the animation in Creta. Is that not allowed?
So you are doing already in Creta, that is animation for 10 seconds. So, but when you are sending this file, that means you are sending one output and one editable file of Creta, right? So
Yes,
this,
sure.
so this animation software animation you have to use in Synfig Studio. And the motto of this our hackathon is that you have to learn this Synfig Studio. This is one of the open source software. So that's why we are promoting this kind of activity. So Creta is also open source software, but for this hackathon, we specified some softwares. So only we specified this animation software, Synfig Studio software is compulsory to send your animation. So this
Okay,
is
sir, got
very
it.
easy software. So whatever you are did in Creta, you can convert it in Synfig Studio. So because already you know the flow of your animation, you already know the idea of your animation, only you have to convert it in the Synfig Studio. So for that, what you have to do, you have to learn Synfig Studio by using spoken tutorial, which already we given you the links on our website. So you learn, there is only 12 tutorials are there, 10 minutes each. So you have taken only 2 hours for study, because already you are the animator you did, so you will not get more time. And after that, you convert your animation in Synfig Studio and send it to us.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you so much.
So all the participants who are in the session have received the login credentials. Are you
Able
aware
to?
that we have sent that mail and all have received it? Okay, so we assume that you have received it. So I think, Kushal, we can wrap up the session because
Yes.
I think we don't have any more doubts. So thank you for joining this webinar, and we may even conduct more webinars down the line. So do check out our website as well as the social media handles, and we will be updating all the information on those channels. Okay, thank you.
If you have any doubts, please email at info@fossee.com. Thank you.